Hello and welcome to No Marks on the Floor, your favorite film podcast. My name is Toni. I'm joined, of course, by Ville.
Hello, Toni. Nice to be here.
You know, I think that this podcast is an excuse just so we can see each other.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. 100% it is for me. I just want to talk shit about movies with you. 100%.
That's the alternative name to our podcast, Talk Shit About Movies.
Yeah, right. Let's mark that down. You know, I just watched Family Stone.
You did?
I did. Fucking hey, that's a good film. I loved
Okay,
it.
we need to talk about that. Family Stone.
Have you seen it?
Now, actually, I don't recall anything about this movie.
Ah, okay.
What is it about, first of all?
Have you spoke about this earlier?
No.
No? Okay, so this is fun.
Yeah, this is actually an exclusive for the podcast.
Right.
Family Stone.
Family Stone, yeah. That's the one with Sarah Jessica Parker. It has a lot of good actors.
Okay, Sarah Jessica Parker, right?
Cast. Yeah, Sarah Jessica. I think she's the lead actress in the film. And then she's, I watched this while I was sick. I had this 1 week. I talked to you with Toni about this before. I had this 1 week period when I was quite sick, and I just binged watched a lot of rom-coms, because those are the films that makes you feel good when you're sad or sick. That's the one where you get to find the comfort.
Yeah.
So I watched that one, and I gotta say, because I was so sick and my left eye was sleeping all the time while right eye was watching the film. There are a lot of things that went past by. But yeah, it's a
rom-com.
It's a rom-com. Sarah Jessica Parker, she's this, I don't know, maybe a little fancy woman, I would say. Maybe too fancy. I think she is referred in the film, if I don't misremember, I think she's referred in the film as a person who was born a golden spoon in her ass. Is that a saying?
In her ass?
Is that a saying?
Well, I know about the mouth, but
Right.
I haven't heard about the ass.
Okay, well, maybe I'm just translating straight from Finnish.
Okay.
Tony is, by the way, he's Bulgarian. I was wondering if that's how do you say that in Bulgarian? What's the saying?
It would be, I think it's a silver spoon in Bulgarian.
So, okay. But is that in the mouth or in the ass?
In the mouth,
In the
yeah. Okay, so...
In Finland, the golden spoon, or silver spoon in this case, is in the ass.
Okay, well, sure, talk a lot about that. Why is it in the ass?
Right.
Like, because, you know, isn't the saying coming from the fact that you're being fed with a golden spoon, right?
Yeah.
So I'm just wondering, why is it in the ass?
Right.
If
Maybe
anyone knows the origin from this saying, please let us know.
Maybe it's a rich people thing.
Maybe. But anyways, back to the movie. So she's this very fancy woman.
Yeah.
And what's the plot? What happens?
Yeah. Okay. So there is this man. It's a Christmas film.
Oh, okay. So not only a rom-com, but also a Christmas movie.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, that's a double combo
Perfect
right
combination.
there. Perfect combo.
Perfect combo, absolutely. So there is this man. He has a big family.
Yeah.
It's a Christmas, and he takes this woman to his family for Christmas. And it seems like everybody in that family hates her because she is a woman born a golden spoon in her ass.
Yes.
And then she needs to deal with that.
Does she have to almost prove herself?
Yeah,
worthy,
exactly,
and that,
exactly.
Hey, I'm actually down to earth.
Right. And it's kind of like Michael Scott effect that like the more she does, the more she the more she tries to help, the more she ends up destroying everything. And then I think it's like midpoint of the film, she brings in her sister,
Yeah.
and that's when the magic happens.
Okay, what is the magic?
Well, I don't dare to. Well, it's so old films that everybody has seen it already.
Also, we should establish this. By listening to this podcast, there will be spoilers all the time. We assume you've either seen the movie or you don't mind spoilers, because we're just gonna get into the meat of everything. So. Spoilers warning from now to the end of the ever. So please go ahead with that.
You said it, yeah. We cannot hold accountable for that. But anyway, Sarah Jessica Parker and the man who were meant to be together in the beginning,
Yeah.
they are actually not meant to be together.
Oh, is there a plot twist coming?
Yeah, that's the thing.
Okay.
When Sarah Jessica Parker brings in her sister, it turns out that the dude and Sarah Jessica Parker's sister
Yeah.
are actually meant to be together.
Wow.
And Sarah Jessica Parker is meant to be together with this dude's brother, who is also there because it's Christmas, right? And
So she gets on with his brother?
Yeah, and like when you say it like that, it sounds like so.
That's a bit fucked up.
Yeah, right. No, that's the thing. It sounds fucked up when you put it like that. It sounds like it's like that's not romance. That's not love. Like love doesn't start like that.
It's a Christmas swinger party.
Yeah, right. Like what kind of love starts like that? Yeah, swinger party. But that's the thing. I think that's the fucking beauty of great filmmaking.
Yeah,
when you can
yeah.
make such an idea works so fucking well because it's not weird at all. I'm telling you, man, it's not weird at all. It's just smooth sailing.
Well, absolutely. Now I'm checking it out live on the podcast. It's actually not too bad. It has a 6.3 on IMDb, which I would consider is okay.
Should have 10.
Or should have 10. And 52 on Rotten Tomatoes. Should have been 100.
Yeah, at least.
Wow, that was a plot twist. This is actually something that we should talk about with rom-coms. It feels like sometimes in rom-coms, it is a bit of a fucked up situation that is played out as this romantic act of love.
Right.
You know, do you think that, since you're obviously the rom-com expert, do you think that this is how you should introduce yourself from now on? I'm Ville, a rom-com expert.
I should. I didn't remember anybody else's name except Sarah Jessica Parker from Family Stone, so I think that disputes.
We're gonna edit you out afterwards saying everything.
Correct, yeah.
Just like completely sounding different on your phone and just reading out from Wikipedia.
Right.
Just to make it sound like you know everything.
Yeah.
Do you consider, Ville, that sometimes the guys in rom-coms are straight up creeps? Isn't famously The Notebook a little bit of a stalker story? You know, I actually, I have not seen The Notebook.
No, me neither.
It's a classic, right? Maybe we should, as a homework, we should see it. But I've seen one scene from it. That was disturbing. It actually, if you probably switch the music from romantic comedy music to a horror movie, it would be a dope thriller. But basically, the scene was...
Is that the one with Ryan Gosling? No,
exactly, Ryan Gosling.
I have seen it.
But anyways, there's this scene. Now that you've seen it, it might ring a bell, but it might be in the beginning of the movie. I don't know. I've seen only that scene, but she's on a Ferris wheel, the girl, and he wants to for her to agree to go on a date with him. And he literally jumps on the Ferris wheel, grabs on it, and the Ferris wheel like starts spinning.
Right.
And he says something like, you know, I'm just gonna drop if you don't say yes to go on a date with me. Like,
ooh, ultimatum, huh?
Yeah, like he's basically saying, I'll kill myself if you don't go on a date with me. And she's like, oh, and she like agrees on a date.
Is that how she is?
And I don't know. I need to check, but I think she's on the Ferris wheel with her current boyfriend or like another dude, and he's there like, what the fuck? And she's like so impressed and charmed by it, and he's like, oh, you're such a bad boy, you know. And I'm like, what? Report this guy to the fucking police. Like, he needs help. He needs help. He's threatening to kill himself if you don't go out with him. You know, within the context of the movie, it's probably a pretty cool scene, but like if you really think about it, then it's like, whoa.
Right. No, that's the thing. That's why I feel bad okay, first of all, I'm going to go home and watch Notebook because this sounds crazy. And just what you just said, it's when you take out the music and then you would make it look a little bit more dramatic with the lighting.
Yeah, change the color grading.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, you got a nice fucking thriller over there, right?
You know, that's a good idea. If this hasn't been done already, someone needs to re-edit the Notebook and make it look like a thriller.
Yeah.
You know, just make the color grading blue and dark, but all the music, you know, the classic strings and the drones and holy shit, that's a great idea. But that's the thing, though. Sure, the rom-coms, they get this reputation for being cheesy or kind of like an obvious setup, not very creative or not very well written, and all of those like criticism that they're getting. But yet they have this very warm, cozy, fuzzy feeling.
Yeah.
Right? And that's what you did for a whole week. You just watched rom-coms. Wow, you were sick. Now, why did you choose to watch rom-coms in your sick week rather than a comedy or a thriller?
What did I choose? Hey, you know what? Because I don't have an answer to that question. What do you say if I ask you a question? Because I've been speaking way too much now, dude.
I just love the sound of your voice. Actually, Ville, I need to come clean. I'm going to edit myself out of this podcast. The entirety will be just you talking to yourself, and I'm gonna listen the fuck out of
it. Dude, seriously, what's your... Well, thanks, man. I love your voice as well. I really do. Anyway, can you point some series or movies that you just like to watch over and over again? Not because of, you know, plot twist, but because they just... have something.
There's two different types of movies that I love rewatching. One of them is thrillers, and then the second type of movies that I love rewatching is just pure entertainment.
Yeah.
And that would be
like Airplane,
The Wolf of Wall Street, also Airplane, but just movies where I would categorize them as shit going wrong.
Okay.
And just people just digging themselves into this fucking hole, but it's so entertaining. It is living big and showing you this big experience. So The Wolf of Wall Street would be like that. I really like this movie. Or Goodfellas.
But that's
pretty much the same kind of thing. And Martin Scorsese, director of both.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but Goodfellas is one of your favorite films, right?
Yes, very up there on my favorite films.
Okay.
What about you? What kind of movies do you like rewatching? Or do you like rewatching movies?
I love to rewatch films, definitely. It just in any way entertaining, I would say. I have seen now, yesterday we watched Karate Kid with my girlfriend. And she had never seen it, by the way.
Okay.
And it actually, just what we talked last time about you force feeding some films to your girlfriend, I think the biggest compliment my girlfriend can give to my film choice, and again, I'm making this sound like I have contributed to the film itself, but like when I pick a film and then my girlfriend is gonna give you the tap on my shoulder saying like, you know, good pick, you didn't waste the 2 hours of my life.
Yeah.
The biggest compliment is that, God damn, why haven't I seen this before?
Oh,
right?
Isn't that nice to hear?
That is like, God damn, yes, Ville, good job. I chose a good film. But then again, fucking Karate Kid, you cannot go wrong with that one.
Which version? Was
the first one.
So not the one with Jaden Smith?
Oh, no.
Okay.
I haven't seen those new
original
ones, yeah. I tend to rewatch just, those films like E.T., Gremlins, of course.
You're such a 90s kid. I love it.
Yeah, I am. But I think it's just because it just takes me back to my childhood, which was very nice and comfortable.
Do you think that in 40 years people watch 2020 movies and be like, oh man, this reminds me of TikTok? Oh man, going to Instagram every day.
Oh fucking A, like I can already see like 20 years from now my kids saying that.
We don't watch movies from the 60s and think anything of them as in, I remember the swing days and all that.
That's
right?
so true, which then again our parents' does.
Yeah. So
and you're like, what the fuck is this?
There is a theory about, potentially in 40 years, those movies from the 90s that we love to be absolutely old and dinosaur movies that are just boring and not even want to see them, even though they're good movies. I don't know. I mean, do we watch?
I could see that.
Do we watch movies from the 40s?
Yeah, no.
I mean,
no.
You have to be a big film nerd to watch those.
Yeah, that's true. Like, and still stuff like Casablanca, films like that are like proven to be just even Godfather. I think like we do watch it, but I don't see my kids watching even Godfather unless they are forced to do that.
Yeah, that is crazy to think about. But also, it's just so few movies of those days I feel like stand the test of time. Sometimes you can tell the pacing is off and maybe the acting is off, and we've gone so much further in a lot of regards since then, so they haven't aged as nicely. But I don't know, I mean, think about Titanic. I think that this movie will forever be an amazing film.
It's just a great film.
It just
fucking
can
man.
I would say it's arguably the best film of all time.
Yeah. And rightfully so. It's actually funny. I feel like, do you know this experience? You might have a bad day or good day, actually. It doesn't matter. And you go to, I don't know, you use a public transportation, you go to grocery store, and then there's just a random person who doesn't know you, you don't know him or her, and then there's a random kind of random act of kindness from their side. They might do just some simple gesture to give you room to, pass them by in the alley or corridor, and then they give you this smile. And it makes you feel good. You know the feeling?
I would like to know it more.
Right. But it just makes you feel super good and kind of gives you the comfort of knowing that there are genuinely nice people like that in this world. I get the same kind of feeling whenever I watch a great film like Titanic. I get the comfort of knowing that there are awesome people who have this ability to get together, first of all.
Yeah.
And then all of them are going to contribute in this specific area that they are experts, and they're going to make this great film. Just overall great film. Which is not because of one person, but it's just because of all these awesome people put their head together and work together to make this awesome. It just gives me comfort knowing that there are like people who can do that, and then we get these awesome masterpieces like Titanic.
Yeah.
That are just so good film.
This is so well put. that, yes, when you
Thanks,
watch a good movie, you just think so many things had to go right for this to happen, and just the fact that we're able to see it, it's amazing.
Can I just go a little back? You said that was so well put, right? Of what I just said, right?
Yeah.
Because that never happens. I never say anything smart
Really?
or anything well phrased. So, thanks, man. I'm just gonna enjoy this moment.
I would politely disagree. You're a very, very wise guy. That's actually from Goodfellas, wise guy. Sorry, that was completely accidental.
Horrible.
But you're wise.
Thank you.
And I feel like you're very grounded, and you have your priorities right in life.
Thanks, man.
I am learning a lot from you in that regard.
God damn, you're too nice for me. Thanks, man.
I mean this, and I'm sure that everything you say has a lot of value.
Thanks, man. I'm very humbled to hear that.
Some might say that I can learn from you everything I need to know about life. Ville's laughing because he just started his YouTube channel. Congratulations, Ville.
Thank you.
I just want to get it out there. I love your YouTube videos.
Thanks. I appreciate it.
They're so you, and it is filmmaking and storytelling the exact way that you feel it.
Thanks, man. That feels good. And on that note, I also want to say Tony is having his own YouTube channel called Tony's Film Club, which is great in so many ways. And if I can say why it is great, in my opinion, is because he has made very brief film history lessons. He says everything that is needed, but nothing unnecessary. And there's no unnecessary stuff of, what's up, guys? Subscribe and smash that like buttons.
But before we get into this, let me tell you about...
yeah. So yeah, it's you're very, very...
I appreciate that.
Dyktig, like they say, but in Danish.
Look how educational we are.
Right?
Dyktig.
Throwing all languages all over the places.
I want to get back a little... Thank you, by the way. I want to get back into Titanic.
Yeah.
I do get asked often, which by often I mean maybe twice per year. And one of those times is myself asking myself, what might be the best movie ever made? And I keep going back to Titanic. I don't know what it is about this movie, but I feel like it is perfect. I genuinely cannot find anything wrong with this movie. I feel like every time you watch it, it is just as good. It has everything. It has comedy, it has drama, storytelling, it has great effects, it aged beautifully, nothing looks out. It's the acting, the direction, I genuinely cannot find anything wrong with this movie.
I agree, and let's stay on that topic. Have you ever cried when watching Titanic?
Hell no. If that was the manliest voice I could do, this already tells everything you need to know. I might have shed a manly tear or two.
Yeah.
For
real?
For real.
Okay, at which part? Like when?
It is, that ending gets me. Jesus Christ. That fucking ending gets me. I cannot even lie. Oh, God. And when I watched it with my girlfriend, I just so happened to lie in such a way that she can really see my face. It's like, oh, wait, I need to... Oh, I'm sweating. It's very hot in here.
And then when you start to cry, then you just...
There's Titanic. But also a lot of movies don't get me... Maybe I'm not going to actively cry, but they definitely get me kind of choked up. This feeling in your throat when it almost hurts your throat. When it's like, that feeling.
But that's the moment when you need to actually start to cry because you just need to let it go.
Yeah.
Right?
So that would be...
Let it go. That would be Frozen.
That would be Frozen. That makes me cry. No, The Untouchables gets me, I must admit.
Oh, yeah. At what part?
Yeah, towards the end, but that's like happy tears. It's very sweet feeling.
Like right at the end when they're in the restaurant. And,
I would say...
Happy tears are the best, though. They're the best.
Yeah. Maybe The Pursuit of Happiness kind of gets me at the end.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, it's just...
When Will Smith and the kid,
when he gets that fucking job.
Oh, yeah? Again, happiness of tears.
This is a great topic. I want to talk about... First of all, I want to ask you before we get into it. Do you cry on movies? And if yes, what gets you?
I do. Both. I think, like I said before, happiness of tears. Tears of happiness are the best ones. The latest film that I cried was Up. At the moment when the man realizes that the great adventure for his wife was not to travel all these awesome places and see the world, but the great adventure ended up being just living together everyday life with him. Do you remember the scene?
Oh man, I'm already getting choked up.
Fucking A, that was just like, I sometimes when I just think about that, because it was just, I don't know, like in general that film is just above amazing.
Let me ask you this.
But that scene, god damn.
That's a great scene. I want to ask you this. How do you feel about men crying on movies? Do you feel it's taboo? Do you think it's show of weakness? Do you think it's okay?
Oh yeah, nah, that's fucking bullshit.
It is a bit of bullshit, right?
It's good to cry. It's just, everybody should cry as much as they want. It's very liberating, and it's very. I mean, like, what? I don't even like understand. Yeah, it's just bullshit. So many.
It is bullshit to be a taboo of a man crying on a movie.
It's very outdated picture. Of
I also feel that crying on a movie is a big compliment, both for the filmmaker that was able to invest you so much in a story and tell you such a story that it will affect you that way.
Yeah, just like laughing.
But also it's a great compliment to you that you have the emotional intelligence to understand that story and get invested in that story so much that it will affect you. Because if you cry in a movie, it means that you actually are very empathetic and you relate so much to that movie and you care so much for someone, even if it's a fictional character, to cry.
Yeah.
So it's a great compliment for everybody, and definitely no shame.
Oh, definitely not. But actually, I want to also say that I think it's important to understand the context of when the film was made. For example, like if there are any films that I don't know, made in 90s, 80s, whatever, in the beginning of 2000, and then they are like joking, or not even joking, but saying that men should not cry. I think it's completely okay knowing that that was what the world was at the time. And that doesn't make me, not like the characters. Like, okay, good example, Karate Kid. The first one, there's the scene when Miyagi is training with Daniel, and then Daniel punches Miyagi as part of the practice, and then Miyagi goes, like, why do you hit like a girl? Which I think is...
not cool anymore, right?
Yeah, that's the thing. That's not something you would yeah. Yeah, everybody knows that there's so many things wrong in that sentence, but I would not be like, Miyagi, you should not say that. Because
let's cancel him, right?
Right, because at the time, world was different, right? But it's good we have learned from that. And I think the same goes in crying. I thought, and my father probably thought 20 years ago that crying for men was not okay.
Yeah.
Now it is. And I'm happy to live in times when crying is okay for men as well.
I agree. And I think that we should absolutely watch movies with a little note on the back of our mind that times have changed, and sometimes it is just how it was. But also, times changing, it shows progress. I, for one, am happy that times are changing. I wish for a lot of things they would have changed earlier, but it does show progress.
It does.
And we can cherish it, for one.
One of the rom-coms that I watched when I was binge watching films when I was sick was Pretty Woman, came to my mind. And it was funny to see because in the film when Julia Roberts walks on the streets in Beverly Hills, in very fancy areas, in areas where everybody had born with a golden spoon in their ass. Everybody was looking at her, like everybody recognized her to be a prostitute because of the way she dressed. You've seen the film, right?
I've seen it, yeah.
Right. Which was funny because, like, I feel like that film came in, I would say, 80s. Or am I completely off? 80s, 90s. Oh, yeah. So now, 20, 30 years later, that's how women dress in general on the streets.
That's kind of cool about movies that, in a way, they're a bit of a time capsule about the times that they were made in, unless it's an incredibly progressive and, game-changing movie. But yeah, it's funny how, you'd watch something from the 50s and then you can clearly see about the relationship between men and women and the household and everything else. And obviously, the further back you go, then you start getting proper racist in there and all that.
Yeah.
They're a reflection of the times.
Yeah.
And every time someone tries to challenge this, then it gets interesting.
Yeah, that's true. What you said, I think some people considers watching films and TV series as a waste of time. And I think what you just said is a very good point, because it is, like you said, a reflection of our times, and it's a history lesson. Not the like. Fucking I sound like a dude. A monkey tried to speak here, but the monkey can't even speak better. But
No. You're actually going like in a. Don't worry, we'll put it in the editing.
Thanks, man. Yeah, you can learn a lot from films, even though the intention of the film is not to teach you. You can still learn a lot from it. Speaking of progress, do you still, though I know we were joking earlier about watching Titanic with your girlfriend and not showing you crying, but like, was there still any truth in it? Like, do you feel...
I must admit there was a bit of truth, yeah.
Yeah, right, me too.
I don't know what it is. I don't know. It's certainly, I don't mind being vulnerable in front of her or anything. And she cries sometimes openly on a movie, and I must admit, my first instinct is to make a bunch of jokes about it. I just go, you fucking pussy.
That's the wrong direction. I have taken that direction, and fucking I regret.
I just cannot help it. I just cannot help it.
But I think, you know what? I think that's the way we have learned to deal with our emotions and feelings. I think we share the experience. We are pretty much the same age. I think that's the world we grew up, and that's like still in the back of our head, even though we now understand that it's okay to cry. But still, 20 years ago when we were younger boys, it was, I think I lived in the world where it was not okay.
Yeah, you need to show that strength.
Yeah, exactly. So world. I think that still carries on in our, like, at least, you know, it's hard to learn new habits. It's hard to learn that it is actually okay, even though we know it now rationally.
So did you say that this is also for you, that consciously or not, you kind of try to hide a little bit?
Oh yeah, I do. And I don't like that. I feel like I'm working to be more comfortable with crying. That's all I need to say.
I do think we might feel silly for crying for a movie, as in maybe you would feel comfortable crying if it's a legit reason. I don't know, your dog died.
There's no more legit reason than crying in the Up when
Up, absolutely no. But I do feel maybe could it be that I feel, oh man, I'm just too silly for crying to that. I'm too good for it, you know. Oh, this doesn't get me. But I agree, we should definitely be more open about it and more vulnerable and call ourselves pussy for once.
yeah, because I am, at least I'm a major pussy in so many ways.
I just got the sound bite. That's the only thing. Welcome to the podcast, and then it cuts to you. I'm a major pussy.
I'm a major pussy, that's it.
And then thanks you guys for watching this episode.
Right, but this...
Oh, sorry, I just love this. You just meant it. I really felt that line. But I'll join you. I too, Tony, am a major pussy.
Major pussy. Yeah. There's no courage without fear.
What a valuable podcast today. I think we learned a lot.
We did learn a lot.
We learned
from each other.
And for each other.
For each other.
And about each other.
God damn, that's a beautiful way to put it. You're a smart man.
You are even smarter. Half of this podcast is just us trying to hype each other up.
Rub each other's back and then go for the rest of the day feeling like cutting on the wall. Which I think is very good reason to have a podcast if it has that kind of effect.
Right on. And on that note, we got deep this episode.
We did. I apologize of not having... Actually, I don't apologize of having more... I don't apologize of not having more laughter, because sometimes...
Normally we bring in the jokes, but today... We brought in the facts.
This is how it was.
We brought in the fax machine and got straight up facts.
Can't force it. That's so true. Thanks, Tony.
Thanks, Ville. Shall we go and keep talking about things, just not recording it?
Yeah, let's do that. And let's talk about on the mics next Sunday.
Thank you so much for listening.
Thanks for listening, guys.
We went somewhere and nowhere.
That's exactly what happened. Bye-bye.
Bye.